Hello, everybody. Welcome to Comic Core Unlimited. I just interrupted JD, the host, without answering his question. We are the Wednesday night team here on the Comic Core channel. We are here to chat good books, chat good reading, discuss what's going on in the community, and have a little fun and hopefully bring a lot of you along with us. So we're going to jump in and check in with everybody here. Israel Comic Spectre, you came in with so much energy tonight. How you doing? It's that meal you just ate.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. I'm doing great. I had a delicious feast this evening of some Taco Bell Supreme. Just made my day, definitely. Aside from that, man, it's great to be here on this Wednesday evening with all of you fine, handsome gentlemen. And I'm really looking forward to our topics this evening. I think that we're going to have a splendid time.
And I'm sure the great legend will jump in here at some point and be proud of the way you've represented the team here tonight. JD, brother, how are you doing, sir? You've been doing shows like crazy lately.
Yeah, it's been it was good. I took yesterday off. But we have tonight. But then I'm off again for a while. So I've got Avengers tomorrow night, and I'm not doing anything over the weekend. So be good.
And lastly, Jason, Comics Misexplained. How about you, man? How's the only one still struggling with the team uniform?
Dude, I ordered it last week, man. I don't know. It's on a DHL delivery service, so they like to take their time, I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for like another shirt too to come in the mail, so I don't know.
A pony. There'll be like a pony that finally delivers it.
I bet you like my mailman just walking around, strutting around with all my shirts.
Wearing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot tell what that album is behind you, but that cover is unbelievable.
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite funk albums of all time. It's called the band is called Black Merda, Merda, but it's psychedelic funk from late '60s, early '70s. Pretty obscure, but it's recently reissued and it is amazing.
That cover is phenomenal.
Yeah, check it out. It's I feel like they love Jimi Hendrix, of course. Everyone did during that time, but they have like I think 2 Hendrix covers on there and good guitar work. But I like their original songs better on that. But so yeah, some good psychedelic funk. Black Merida, highly recommend checking them out, man. Check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump in the chat and say hello to some folks. Caleb, the comic Smurf, was in the chat before anybody. Say hello to you, good sir. RJ Taylor's in here. Flaming Sheila is in here. Hello. Comics Misexplained, you're already in here.
Oh yeah, I'm always there.
Garrel, how you doing, Mr. Garrel? Alec from White Whale Comics is in here. Comics for All People #1. TJ, the Slab Dragon Watson is in here. He was on the show with JD and I on Monday night. If you didn't check out the Comic Core channel show, The List, airing after Alec was done with the story Comic Core, you should definitely go back and check it out. I thought it was a lot of fun, super informative. I learned a lot of cool stuff, but I was really just sort of writing everything down that everybody was telling me because there was a lot of good things flying through the room there. Let's see who else. I'm in the chat. Kachung is in the chat. Mastodon Comics is in here. And Pocan Joe, Marvel Joe, both Joes. We got lots of Joes. We are going to jump into our reading list to see what everybody's been reading, what everybody's been enjoying from our group here. Jason, do you want to get us started? I know you digitally power down a lot of books on Wednesdays.
I try to, yeah. Yeah, man. Well, of course, because the story Comic Core, recently they're doing Y the Last Man, and so they finished issues 6 through 10. I did that previously as well, I guess after the first show. I just preemptively because I love the story so much. But now they said they're going to continue doing the rest of the story. So I'm super pumped on that. So I already bought the Comixology Volume 2 of the next 10 issues. So looking forward to reading that. Also recently, Comic Head 84 and his crew, they did Marvel 1602 from Neil Gaiman. And it was the first time reading that. I read the first 2 issues. I think they're going to move on from the discussion and do Secret Wars next, at least the first issue. But I want to finish
the original, the original Zach.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so I'm going to finish Marvel 1602, and then I'm going to do Secret Wars, at least the first issue, because I think they're just talking about the first issue. But yeah, as for new stuff today, I had to work, so I didn't get read as much as I wanted to. Detective Comics 1002 is awesome. Damian Wayne comes into the picture, and you have the Arkham Knight kind of trying to recruit him and tempt him coming onto his side. They have an interesting dynamic there. Heroes in Crisis, 89. John and I, we had a little discussion pre the show.
It's so good. It's like the best ever. Man.
I'm going to disagree, but
arguably, I've heard that like this series is possibly story of the century.
This converted
that'd be
Mr.
wild.
Strange. Right now, he's a fan.
Oh
This
my God,
one
no.
issue made a big change in his whole thinking about this. No, wait, I got this wrong. I got that wrong.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite. It's opposite day of everything he said. Yes. Continue on from that. Justice League Dark is awesome. James Tynion is crushing it. I think Justice League Dark's going to read amazing and trade. I recommend anyone to check it out if you haven't already. But man, this is a series you got to start from the beginning, really, to get.
What
the
issue is it on right now?
Now it's on issue 10, so
Okay.
not too bad. You just got to read 10 issues. Not too bad, but it is great. Things are really popping off right now, and it seems like they're always just something crazy going on. That was all the DC I got to check out. As for Marvel, did Hulk Reigns issue 3 of 3. Finished that up. Nice little cute story. Greg Pak, does a fine job, but it was a little more sillier than I wanted it to be, but it was still okay to see. Then a Criminal, Image Criminal, man, dude. I got nothing but love for Criminal, and apparently this talks about Teague from book 1, and this main character guy, he's just doing a whole bunch of speed, and he's starting to see things, and he's sleep deprived, and it's pretty wild. It's my read of the week. Criminal seems to just be my book of the week every week it comes out. What do you think, JD? Did you read it?
Yeah. Are we handing off to me now?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, if you're ready to go.
Yeah. So this week, Spawn,
Way to ruin that transition.
Spawn is on the road to 300. So I started off with History of Spawn Part 1, which is number 296. It's such an important read for anybody who's a Spawn fan. This goes back and it tells pretty much the background, small little thing of the first 100 issues. It's pretty cool. And they're doing number 2 and number 3, and they've got a whole dark horror thing they're going to be doing at the end of this year. A nice trade paperback. I'm going to say I agree. That was the first book on the list. So the next one I'm going to talk about, Criminal, for sure, is my pick of the week of the indie run, but it definitely is a solid book all around. I do like the fact that now we've gone full circle all the way back, and it's different than the last two, but it's the same. It's all crime driven. So I think there's a great excerpt at the end that it's all based on crime. I think I really like that. Also, this week came out Dark Visions, which is just a messed up story about just a girl infatuated with Vader. It's what it's about. It's definitely really cool. I love the Dennis Hopeless stuff. He's just done a really good job. Cullen Bunn, Venom, War of the Realms. Good. I like it. It's darker than you'd think, and it's very different, but it leads right into the War of the Realms. And this was one of the ones I said that I was going to get as a going into War of the Realms because I've been reading Venom anyway. So it's a no-brainer. Another War of the Realms that I picked up. I'm finally just about caught up. I'm waiting on. I forgot 14 did not come, but 13 did, and this is a great Doctor Strange story. Mark Waid, for whatever anybody thinks about him, this is just the truth. He knows how to write, no doubt about it, and he writes Doctor Strange so well. Again, it's one of them hard reader ones. And Thanos 1, the background story of a 20-year-old Thanos or whatever, a 20-year-old guy Thanos, probably 300 years old, we don't know. Thanos before it's Sanctuary 0, so it's before he had Sanctuary 1, and it tells the story of how he eventually picks up one of his daughters, but some of the original Black Order is in there. And I read it because our guys are going on after this. Ascender. I'm just gonna say I can't wait to hear you guys review on this one. I know one person is gonna like it, and he's like me. This reminds me a little bit of a very much a early Doctor Strange kind of thing going on.
Hmm.
So I did like that. Also, I did pick up a variant because I swore to myself I'd never buy variants again. But this really ass. This is the Buffino, I think it is. It's just ridiculous. And I don't really like solo covers as much unless it's done by Delato or somebody that I really like. And I just saw this. I'm like, this is something that Delato would have done, but I love the shadowing on it because it's really just done well. It's like everything's lit up because of the Infinity Stones light up.
Who did that cover?
His name is Gabriel Vifino. I don't know if it's Gabriel.
Someone in the chat.
RJ Taylor knows. It is really cool cover. And I mean, I got it for a little bit over cover price, so it's 25% off of $19.99, and so $15. But I know some people said they were going at $50 on eBay. I don't care. I don't think it's that kind of a book. I don't see any spoilers in there or anything spec related, but it was good. It's a good week. I caught up on that, and I downloaded the DC app after I had a conversation with Legend and Carson C. Wood. Downloaded the app, and I have totally Swamp Thinged it just to catch up doing the Alan Moore run. Up to
Nice.
8 now, 20 to 28, and I'm going up to 36, and then I'm going to go back. I've already done I've done the whole Bernie run up to the Len Wein one. Len Wein run with Bernie's artwork. And God, it's so great to reread it again. You know, it's been 20 plus years since I read a Swamp Thing that I liked, and it's great to go back to the originals. You know, I mean, reading made me love this book, made me love Bernie and everything else. It's this one especially is my favorite book. So favorite storyline, you know, and the Arcanes. And today the new trailer dropped while I was reading on the app, and I just got to say, I mean, it looks scary and it looks like it's legit.
Yeah, it looks great. I have the Alan Moore Swamp Thing on Comixology. I've never read it, always wanted to read it, and I'm very close to subscribing to DC, the app. I'm just waiting for the Swamp Thing to come out, and then I'll probably jump on. But I really want to read the run.
You can read them now.
Jumping, yeah. So I'm pretty tempted. I'm probably going to do that sometime soon.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Spectre.
Yeah, Spectre, what are you reading?
Well, you know, I'm waiting on my books, like I said, because I gotta wait because I live out in the middle of nowhere in a little shanty in the woods. So I got a stack of books, but I only read like 4 of them, but they're all really good. So I've been enjoying Justice League Odyssey, and I'm up to issue 8 right now, and man, like, it's really good. There's a lot of tie-ins with obviously Metal, the Source Wall, and Darkseid in this is just an absolutely killer, like, pivotal character. And where it's going, I cannot wait to see, because it's all about the boxes, and like there's like this. The story is like he's trying to get the I guess the C team to help him out. And it's like still up in the air. Are they really helping him save, like the universe, or is he just trying to use them? And there's like, he says that like they're all staged to be like gods, beyond the Source Wall in this little like pocket universe, right? And apparently that's all supposed to play out in saving the entirety of like the multiverse. Mm-hmm. So I'm really interested in seeing how this plays out. So far, man, the story's been blowing me away, and the artwork's been pretty spot on too. So I'm really impressed, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. It's great,
same, man.
So
I enjoyed that a lot. I was surprised because I was worried about this version of Darkseid. You were like, oh, he's like a younger Darkseid and stuff, but he's actually been pretty cool. I've actually been digging his lines, and the writing is fantastic in it. I'm still, I think everyone's wondering what his motives really are. Mm-hmm. He hasn't, because I mean, it's Darkseid. He always wants the destruction of everything, but all of a sudden he's like, oh no,
like no, yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's kind of weird, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's really good though.
Like when I was thinking, like when I was reading this issue, I was reading it and I'm like, I wonder if this has to do with like the anti-life equation and what's about to play out with Deceased. Like I was like, is that part of this?
Nice.
Because it's like, well, everything's gonna like something really bad's coming. I'm trying to save everything. So I was like, this could be really interesting.
I like how they're all gods, and then Jessica Cruz is like, "Well, where's mine?" He's like, "You're not even supposed to be here."
Yeah. He's like, no, Green Lantern, you were just like an afterthought. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you're not a god. Get out of here.
She was like, oh.
Yeah.
But that was I actually say that was my number one read this week. Like, man, I loved that. That was awesome. Next up, Avengers: No Road Home, issue number 9. I thought this was a good read. For me, is 10 already out? Is 10 out yet?
Yeah, it's done. It's done. Yeah.
Dang. Well, I don't know about 10, so don't ruin it for me. But
it is the perfect Marvel homage and tribute to themselves. But it's fantastic. I thought it was a perfect comic series, honestly.
Yeah, I thought that this issue was like a good setup for what's about to happen in 10. Like it was like all the way right to the end, and then it was like, you had Hercules like trying to hold the door so that Vision could get in there, and he squeezes in like right at the last second. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens in 10. So good little cliffhanger.
Al Ewing is amazing, and he's just he writes for the times.
Yeah,
this book reflects that, especially when he added Conan in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and then like they're kind of alluding that I have not read 10, but like the what's the new title that's coming out that has Conan and Venom?
Savage Avengers.
Yeah, like that's the spin from this is like right to that title. So
Wolverine, Venom, Elektra.
So I might have to check that out. We'll see. I don't know.
In that one.
Yeah. And then my next read was Invaders, and I like classic stories, and this is definitely one of those. Like
it's one of the best. It's so underrated, dude.
It is. It really is. Like I could totally tell the difference in my reads. Like these other two over here, definitely this is like new stuff, like new age, trying to get market it to like a newer generation. This here though is like for me. Like
it's serious.
I feel like I'm going back and reading like some like Bronze or like late Silver Age. It's like it's a very serious, gritty, and it's just like in your face. And I'm like, man, this is just so good. Very adult theme. Like there's a lot. Trauma, all kinds of really good stuff going on with Namor. And I like how like they tie in like the X-Men with Professor Xavier. It's really good. It's a good read too. And then my last read was The Batman Who Laughs.
Ooh.
And issue 4, I thought it was pretty good. Like I finally, it explains like the whole how he sees, and dude, it's whack, but it's awesome at the same time. I was like, holy crap! He's trying to use that against the Batman Who Laughs, and like it was pretty cool. Like he like tracked them down, or he was like tracking like the energy to like different spots in the city, and like he found that one pocket, and he like bounced through it for like a few seconds, and he popped back out, and then like at the very end, it was like, oh, I was just playing you the entire time. I was like, oh shit! Right at the end of it, I was like, oh man, this series has been so good. So yeah, all great reads this week. I got a whole more stacks, or I got a lot left to read, but these 4 great books, and I'm just absolutely loving it.
Nice. It's so nice when you were picking up something on the regular and it pays off, right?
Yeah.
It really rewards the enjoyment you're getting from it. Some other people have jumped in the chat. Rod the Rican saw Seawood was in here. Mr. Gretzky is in here. Thank you guys for coming by. Bake the Snake. Biggie Shack is in here. DK at Comics and Cosplay. And there's JD just jumping in. Hello, sir.
What have you
As
been
far as
reading?
me, I got a lot of the same stuff. I've obviously read Ascender. That's going to be the chat later this evening. I have never read Descender. So I was kind of at a loss there a little
That's
bit.
why I'm gonna skip out tonight. Like I really wanted to read Ascender, but I got to read Descender first.
Okay.
You know.
Mm.
Yeah, I was going to be the full noob. I think most everybody else has read some other portions of it, whether they've read the entirety or not. I was going to be the guinea pig who's like, or what is it, the canary in the coal mine or whatever. I grabbed Criminal, but I have not had a chance to read that yet, so I've got that on the reading list. I read issue 8 here, Heroes in Crisis.
Best
I did very
over.
much enjoy it.
So good.
Yeah, mind altering, life changing. I'm gonna have to change everything about my life now
Because the story totally paid off.
I did enjoy it, but that is for another time. We are Misexplained and I are putting something together, working on it. From last week, I've caught up on Middle West. I read the newest issue of Middle West. I'm still really enjoying that. I think the story is very interesting, and the world they're expanding is very fascinating. I'm halfway through the run for Dead Man Logan. Sorry, turned on the glare. I've been enjoying Dead Man Logan. They finally, I guess, spoiler, but they're returning Logan to his original timeline. And I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out, if it interconnects with any of the other old man sagas that are kind of going on.
How many issues are left in that?
6 more. It's 12-issue run, and they just did 6 last week.
Yeah, it's strange because they just dropped him off. What did you think of that last panel? Like, were things on fire, or is it just like that's how the normal land really looks?
I felt like it's how it normally was. It didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary, but I'd be fascinated if it wasn't, because clearly there's a lot more story to tell.
Yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
the ending, but clearly it's not.
Yeah, when he was standing on the cliff looking over the land, I saw like there's like some smoke kind of coming from certain places. So I was like, are those clouds or like things on fire? But we'll find out.
God damn it. Can I just get a moment away from this beard? From some kind of, turn around.
Bet you all didn't expect to see me, did you?
In my dreams, I was hoping I would.
Surprise, bitches. It's Brittany, bitch. And then the one the Marvel book I'm enjoying one of the most is Old Man Quill.
Hell yeah.
I know I dig the old man sagas, and I'm an old man, so I get a lot of flack or whatever, but Hawkeye was incredible. Like, it really built on that world in a way I felt most of the Old Man Logan comics blew it. And then Old Man Quill, like, has been sick. Like, some of the fight sequences, the arena battle in this. I mean, I have legends in the chat. This is a Fing Fang Foom like episode.
Yeah,
The whole thing, you're in an arena, and the Guardians have to battle Fin Fang Foom. It's phenomenal.
Ethan Sachs is crushing it, dude. And now he's doing that Wolverine Captain America crossover.
Laugh.
He's doing like that. Ethan Sachs is doing a one-shot issue of Captain America, Wolverine, kind of Weapon X kind of thing. And it's a one-shot issue. So I'm super stoked to see like what happens next. We never hear about Captain America's thing, and they're there together. So that's gonna be really cool. But I agree, man. Old Man Quill is a highlight. I look forward to like reading all the time. I love that whole.
It just really
world.
is a sweet spot. It's funny. It's super violent, and again, I like that universe a lot. And they build on it
was
well.
hilarious in that. Taskmaster.
I really hope the Doom thing pays off. The Doctor Doom setup.
I wonder if he might be Black Bolt or something because he's not talking.
Yeah, because he's not speaking and he's not doing anything. He's
doing hand
he
gestures.
seems clearly decrepit in some way. Like that's what they did with Red Skull. That's kind of what they did with
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo. So I get that feeling. I also treated myself to a trade this week because I've been wanting to read up on it, but I don't have the DC app yet because I haven't decided if I want to drop in on that. If anybody with the DC app knows for sure if it's on there, I grabbed the Mr. Miracle all 18 issues trade.
Oh, okay.
The original Kirby trade. Alec did such a great job. Oh, he's here. I can't talk nice about him, but Alec did such a great job with the Tom King Mr. Miracle breakdown. It was so good. And I enjoyed that so much that I've started going back and snagging certain key issues. And then I don't want to read those. I want to actually read the books. Mm-hmm. So my LCS had a copy of this, and I picked it up, and I'm very excited to read that.
That's awesome.
Yep, they're on there.
They're all there?
Yeah. You got
all right, Seawood.
25 issues.
Well. Very cool. So you notice we added 2 people in the chat here, and this is C Woodard 19 and White Whale Comics is joining us for a segment we like to bring up charity auctions that we've done over the last 2 weeks, and I think this is a good forum for us to talk about it. And I'm going to hand it off to White Whale first because his auction was about 2 weeks ago. Why don't you tell us the results and your thoughts on it?
Sure. Yeah. So really, it was I Got Issues' brainchild, and he approached me and asked if I wanted to do a charity auction, and I was like, yeah, sure. And we figured we would just auction off a few of our books, maybe raise a couple $100. He did put up the Giant Size X-Men, which obviously was a big draw and a big chunk of our proceeds, but it was really remarkable how the community came out and just started asking us, because we didn't ask for any donations, and they just said, hey, can we send you stuff? I have some books or original art. And it was overwhelming, both emotionally and physically, with the amount of books.
Yeah.
But the auction went 4 hours, and we raised $3,443, which, if you didn't see my recap on my channel, my employer matches donations, so we actually got to donate $6,886.
It's amazing.
Wow.
So good.
Awesome.
And for those 3 charities were
Smile Train, the CBLDF, and the American Brain Tumor Association.
yeah, so the Smile Train is for children with facial deformities such as a cleft palate or a cleft face. The brain tumors and the CBLDF is for the what was that one again? It's
a comic book legal defense fund. It does First Amendment protection rights for shop owners and creators and readers to make sure that no one is preventing any sort of content from being censored or anything like that.
Very cool. And we thank you all. We thank you guys for running it. That was a great night, great auction.
Oh, it was my pleasure, and
I think everybody had a blast on that one.
Yeah, the credit goes to everyone else.
NYC, because not only did he donate books, but he got that Giant Size, and he was buying books left and right. So he was a huge participant on like every level, from what I could tell.
Yeah,
and I think we're going to see him later, if I'm not mistaken, on
on book club in about half an hour.
Yep,
along with Bake the Snake.
Well, we did another auction this past Saturday on the Comic Core channel, run by Carson, and where 25% of the proceeds went to the Hero Initiative. So Iz and myself and Carson were on there, and so I'm going to let Carson run with this one.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to try to do an auction the third weekend of every month, just because Legend used to do it then, and he only does the first weekend of every month now, at least for the time being. So we figured, why not? Someone pitched the idea way back when. It's like, why doesn't the Comic Core occupy that spot? So then I don't know if it was UJD or Comic Spectre, one of the two of you guys are like, why don't we donate to charity and kind of, do something a little bit more with it? That's a pretty good idea. I think with Spectre finally is like, let's do 25%, because I think I originally just said 10%. He's like, that's like tax money, dude. We got to do something a little bit more. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. So we had an awesome 5-hour and change auction this last Saturday. It was pretty nuts. We had a lot of fun. I think, Comic Spectre, JD, Drew Manchu, Who Dat Comics Movies, and Bake the Snake. They were all there. So we thank the sellers, and big, huge thanks to the community for coming out. We were pushing like almost 100 live viewers for a good duration of that auction. I think we had an average of like 75 or 80 live viewers. So just a big thanks to the community for turning that out. By my tallies, we earned that 25% of the earnings. We earned about $782.
Actually, yeah, we broke 800 now because of.
Did we break 800? Awesome.
800.
Yeah, because Big Lion Cat as well. I got to shout him out. He decided to donate a book the day before. So actually, I think we forgot to put that in the tallies. That put us over $800 just in one night of auctioning. So once again, just big thanks to everybody who had a hand in that. At least this last one we did to the Hero Initiative. I think we're discussing between ourselves maybe switching it up every auction. But I always like giving back to the Hero Initiative, because every time I go to a con, they always got a booth there. They're always trying to help out those creators in need, You got these creators, the Golden Age, the Silver, and the Bronze Age creators. They don't exactly have that health plan, that 401k. The health insurance is a huge one, obviously. So that's when the Hero Initiative can step in and help those creators in need and get them the help they absolutely deserve. So very, very fun and very deserving to help them out.
Very cool. I want to thank you guys very much for that. And that's one of the things that I'm very I was taken back by was the community in general. I sat back and I tell people this, and they're like, "Oh, let us know. We'll chime in," including my local LCSs and a bunch of guys in the store heard about it today. Lewis, the guy who donated books for that auction, a guy who some of you guys met at C2E2, he mentioned it, saying, he wants to do more of that. So he said, keep books that didn't sell or stuff that you didn't put up, and I'll send you some more. So it's real cool. Well, that's great, and I want to thank everybody for this. We have another segment here. It's
Hey, JD, can you switch your camera to yourself? You have it on.
I really don't want to see myself. All right.
Camera.
Anyway, so we have another segment we're coming on right now. This is called it's a double one. It's we just invited a guy by the name of Mr. Garrell, and he's going to come on. We're going to all discuss some things that a lot of us have bought here, including John. Is definitely for sure, myself, and if anybody else has bought mystery boxes, whether they be from Comics with Bueller, Comic Tom, Instagram, Boy Who Had 7, Spidey Booth, or anything else. We're going to talk about mystery boxes as a whole, but I want to give a shout out and introduce everybody to the panel to Mr. Garrell. How are you, buddy?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining us. So, you want to run with this since you're the man?
Yeah, sure. I'll just go with my own personal experience. There's so many mystery boxes out there, and really it is kind of a crapshoot. I think that for individuals that are interested in it, you should just come at it with an open mind. That it's completely subjective. Value is pretty much in. It's yourself, what you think is worthwhile. Yeah, there's hot books, there's hot covers. You could go on and on about what really is valuable, spec books, etc. Some are touted as being better than others. Some try to say that they're better than others. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to go with my own personal experience of a couple that I have gotten, and I've just been, I've been impressed. I really enjoyed it. And so I will continue to do so until, I feel like, I'm not going to do that anymore because there's no value or something of that nature. I did get some from the Boy Who Had 7. He was offering mystery boxes for a while, and the value of those were very well, I thought. They were good, excellent quality books. They were in great shape. They were shipped well. And he did put in, there was kind of like GP items, kind of like grand prize type things where there might be a slab. You might get it, you had to choose like a number, right? And the number was what dictated what you were going to get. It was already all prepackaged. He had this stacks of them. So it wasn't like he was picking through and I'm going to send this to this guy. It was just you order what numbers you get, and that's what you're going to get. So, I think I forget how many I got, but I did end up getting a slab, and I did, get several raw books, and they were all great, And then the other one that I've partaken in is that Spider-Man booth, and I think that those guys do a phenomenal job all the way around. But I think they got the inside track on it because they actually partner with actually exclusive comic shops and stuff. So they have KRS. And they work with them, and so they offered the superior boxes, which the price point was pretty high, but for some individuals, obviously subjectively, it was worth it. For me, yes, it was because you every single box was guaranteed to have a Stan Lee signature, and then of course there was GPs, but there was also other hot books in there too. Their regular mystery boxes are a weekly thing, and every Wednesday and Saturday they roll the GPs, and so you have a chance at that. And the price point is pretty decent for like an average person. So like it's not like you don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. Am I really going to get my value? The box comes with like 5 books. They're all good or good subjectively. I've never felt really slighted. So I've had an overall positive experience with my interaction with mystery boxes. So
how often do the superior boxes come around? You said that the other ones were weekly, right?
yes, the regular mystery boxes, they're all week long, but what they do is they have a Wednesday and Saturday hard rollover for the grand prizes. So like on Wednesday morning they'll announce this is going to be the next grand prize up to the next grand prize, which will be stated on Saturday. And then all those books will ship, like within the following week, or that's what they're trying to do because they're working it out. But and then that's what they do. They just keep rolling each week with like 2 grand prizes, and they keep pushing out, your mystery boxes with what they have in them. The superior boxes were a completely different thing. Those are a specialty item that they offer. It's not like a hard set. This is when it's going to be type thing. What they do is they try to offer a really high value mystery box, and this last time they teamed with KRS for that, and so they had just every single box was just like a slew of like super hot covers, stuff from KRS. It was really, really good.
Very cool. Now, Mr. Garrell, I did Comic Toms for about 5 months. I think, John, you and Mr. Garrell did a great episode on his YouTube channel, which everybody should definitely subscribe to. It was really cool. He did a 6-month look back. And can you just go over that a little bit there, my friend?
Yeah, I just I noticed that I had it for like 6 months, and so I thought it'd be a good thing to go over the books that I got, and the trades I got, because the one thing I really liked about it was the trades, because it gave me an opportunity to get read a good amount of books, a good amount of a trade that I would have never got. Like I did mention one time, the Hawk and Dove was the big one, that there's no way I would have bought a Hawk and Dove. And I got that one, and I really liked it. And I know I just seen some, things online about mystery boxes, and I stopped Comic Tom just because, one, I'm getting overwhelmed with books, because I started collecting not too long ago, and I kind of, as a new thing, you get a little excited and you start buying everything in sight. And so I looked up one day, and I just couldn't believe the amount of boxes of comics I have, and they're overflowing. And so I was just like, hey, I gotta calm this down a bit.
I get you on that. But I agree with you. My favorite part of the Comic Tom was the trades, because it gave me some trades I didn't have that I always wanted to read, and stuff I never thought about getting as well. While I wasn't going there to win the lottery or a scratch-off ticket that they talk about, I know there's been talk of that, but I don't believe in that. If you're buying a mystery box, it's a mystery, and you have to take the good with the bad with it. The good is that you get product, which you don't get from a scratch-off. You get product, but you have to be subjective on that. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a $100 book because I spent $30, that makes no sense in anybody's right mind. So I kind of disagree with people saying that they're terrible. I don't agree. I mean, they are what they are. I mean, there are people that are raising money through selling books, and whether they be $4 books that you think are dollar books, but they're $5 books or $10 books, and they're giving you a $20 trade that they might have paid less for, you're still getting a product out of that. And if you want to hit a home run and saying, I didn't get what I wanted, just cancel, and that's it. We'll move on. There are other comic boxes out there, like Bueller's boxes, which are great. They're stacked with books. I mean, there were so many books in one of them. I was like, geez, this was no money. It was really no real amount of money. And I sat there and I'm like, okay, and my wife ended up using like 4 or 5 of the books. She loves them. So that was my experience. John, and by the way, in my 5 months, I did get I got 3 books that were easily, one of them I sold for $75 right away because I already had it. And I sold mine for $75 because they sent me a better condition one, which usually I take great care of my books. So this is really nice. And then I got Death in the Family run. two of the books in the Death in the Family run and a trade, and I thought that was great. And then another time with Comic Tom, I got Swamp Thing, the Alan Moore run, or before Alan Moore took over, but I got one I was missing. So it's like, like I got a early X-Men, I got a Swamp Thing 2, the movie, which I didn't have, which was great, and I enjoyed it. I did stop, but I stopped temporarily because I'm saving up for something particular to complete on my list, and I didn't really need the extra books anymore. But that's just my own experience. I really liked it. John, I know you.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few different boxes, and mostly I'd say the primary reason was supporting people that I was interested in and cared about and thought were doing good work on YouTube. I did Tom's for about 5 months. I did Boy Who Had Sevens, and I did 2 Bueller boxes. I just wanted to support people, try these things out, and I'll tell you, as far as just like for the fun of it and for like building your channel, doing that, like those are still, all of those open unboxings are like some of the best, most popular videos as far as that I've done as far as number of views. It was just a sort of like kick in the pants kind of thing. I wasn't doing it to get the Grail. I wasn't doing it to get some huge book. I did get some great books.
Then?
What's that?
So what's the point then?
Contributing, being a part of
joking. The real reason I made that joke is to interrupt you so I can leave.
Yeah, I'll be there in a sec.
You got to show.
I can get ready for my show, and I only felt comfortable interrupting you, John.
That's smart.
Thank you very much for joining us, Alex.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Anybody else on the panel have any experience with mystery box? I think.
Well, I was gonna say I got an Iron Fist #1 in the Comic Tom mail call. That was probably the nicest book I got as far as highest quality and grade or value. I got like X-Men 200, the Trial of Magneto, which is a great book I really love. I got the X-Men with Wolverine on the X, the cross, like crucified on the cross.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a good one.
So I got some books that I love. I already owned those 2, but I mean, they were great. They were in great shape. I got some early Flash, Bronze Age Flash books that I thought were really great. As far as Boy Out 7, I got first Mephisto, the Silver Surfer 3.
What? That's legit.
That was a great book, and I got from Bueller. I've gotten some really cool books, some indies I haven't read. I got some trades. But again, I wasn't so financially. I think in all cases it covered it. But it wouldn't be anything that I would continue to do like ongoing for me, because like you're saying, I wanted to move towards the keys that I really wanted, and that costs incrementally was keeping me from it. Right. Oh, sorry.
Did you get the Turok 1 behind you?
Yeah, that was a gift actually
Nice.
from Tom, and I think he sent me just recently. I was like, I gotta put it up.
Slab it.
Yeah. And anybody else have any experience with mystery boxes?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a bunch of mystery boxes here and there. And actually, one of my mystery box partners just stopped in the chat. Who Dat Comics and Movies. We've done some joint hangouts where we'll unbox that Spidey booth boxes. Had fun doing that. He actually got himself a giant size X-Men in the video we did with Tacoma Comics. So hopefully we're going to try our luck again when those things ship out.
Oh, aren't we going to do a 3-way?
Yeah, actually, we might
Maybe.
do a fatal 4-way. I think Bake the Snakes did those too, if I remember right. So we might have a 4-way unboxing.
I think Discovery Bay gets in those too.
Nice. Yeah, so I mean, the funnest thing for me anymore being a part of the community is just like maybe seeing like there's a big deal coming in one of those boxes, like the giant size X-Men, then seeing like, who else is going to get, like Comic Spectre, who dat, then just getting the group together and, seeing what you get. Because, I have no luck, so I don't expect to ever get anything out of them. So it's just fun getting in a group and unboxing these things. But in the past, I've had, the other experiences I've had with, like I did the Loot Crate way back when, because they started dipping their toe into the comics pool. Because I think they did like a Batman Endgame variant cover once and a couple other things. And I used to do this other one called Comic Box. There was like a Canadian comic shop, just did like 5 random new comics and put them in there, and actually it'd be cheaper than buying them off the stand. So that one wasn't too bad, but at the end of the day, I was just getting a lot of books I didn't want to read. But then to Mr. Girl's point, it was kind of nice to get a couple of those books you would never buy and then be able to read them. So sometimes you get books like that. But yeah, anymore, I just enjoy. And I did a couple of the Bueller boxes too.
Right.
Those are pretty. I mean, especially if you can't find dollar books in your area or have a hard time finding comics, those are pretty much, I would say, the type of boxes you'd want to get when they're available. But I do enjoy getting that Spidey booth currently, are the ones I like to get.
And that's one of the things I was going to bring up. Some people don't live near an LCS besides Spectre. There are a bunch of people that tell me that the closest ones, some of them are 90 miles to 100 miles away.
Yeah.
So getting books sent to your house that could be mystery boxes is kind of like you digging through a bin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's your own money. You can do what you want. If you believe every claim that they make that everything is going to be in there, then that's on you. But in reality, it's kind of a lottery, but you're getting a product at the end of it, so it's not really a lottery. It's more of it's a game of chance. If you're betting that you're going to win, you're going to lose. The house they're giving away the books. They're not giving them away. They're selling them, and that's not giving.
And I think also, if you're talking about like going through a bin was a great analogy for that. I would say it's also being sorted by somebody that you can argue whether you agree with their taste or not. So it's somebody like Bueller. I knew that the books that I was going to get from him were the kinds of books that he would pull from the bin. So it's almost like pre-Bueller sorted, right? Mm-hmm. I might get some shiny covers. I might get a whole bunch of number ones, the kind of books that he's going to pull. Then maybe I get a taste of hunting with Bueller in that box. And that was what I felt like I got both times from his Bueller boxes.
You feel like you're there with Bueller.
Yeah,
I can smell the coffee coming out of those books.
Biggie Shack does bring up a good point, though. There are a lot of Unicrons out there.
Oh, I love them. I love them.
When I opened up the box, I did enjoy it. I had a lot of fun. My wife and I just sitting there opening the boxes, and her pulling out every DC Bombshells, every Catwoman, and everything. The Bueller box I got was perfect. I called it the Liz box because 80% of it was stuff that she wanted, that she was going crazy for. She was like, I can't believe I got this one. I always wanted this book. Or she said, I always was interested in that cover. And I was like, it was right there. And so I was enjoying it. Jason, you get involved in the mystery boxes at all?
Nah, I usually save my money for finding stuff I want to buy. Yeah.
I'm proud of it. Whether you buy the mystery box or not, I think it's great for the community. You are supporting some channels and everything else that everybody likes, and the Spidey booth, you can go out there and have fun. But again, count on it to win the lottery. Just count on it that you're getting a product for what you pay for. And if you don't really like what you paid for, you can cancel at any time or not buy them.
And Bueller's in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, Bueller. We were just talking about the workings and functionings of mystery boxes on the YouTube channels and Instagram. And he's right there in the chat. You can follow him, and his link for his boxes are in there if you want to check him out. And you can go to many of our channels to see unboxings from Bueller boxes. You can kind of see how that all works. So thank you for coming by. I'm going to jump out here, but I want to give my community shout out before I go.
Okay.
I've been enjoying I've been watching the videos from Dennis over at Kingpen Comics.
Kingpen. It was one of my early shout outs. Yeah.
He's a really great guy, and he's doing a contest right now. So if you guys bip over there, he's doing a 100 subscriber, 500 Instagram follower contest on both Instagram and YouTube. Kingpen Comics with an X at the end. Really good guy, and you can check in on his channel and support him and his growing channel. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. I'm going to bail out. These guys are going to keep rolling. Mr. Garrell, you rock, and that video was excellent. I really appreciate it. Seawood, nice to see you. I only feel like I get you for 5 minutes at a time, but it's good to see you.
I'll say likewise.
And go unlimited. You guys keep this rocking, and I'll catch you guys next week.
Later, John.
Later, man.
Anybody else have any community shout outs they want to bring up? I have one. Epicurean Eye Relief. I'm going to spell it out right now before we go to our panelists. He's put out some channels. He's put out some content recently, and he's got a contest going on. But he's put out some good stuff, and I'm going to have him on here eventually. That's my terrible handwriting right now. I can draw, but I can't write. Epicurean Eye Relief. If you look up, it's EPICUREN. He's been he's been putting out some stuff, and put out an interesting video the other day that it intrigued by enough that I want to talk to him further about, and it was really, really cool. But the man of the hour, the man of our show, the highlight of our show right now, we're bringing out Mr. Garrel right now, because I want him to talk about his channel and his Monday show. So, Mr. Garrel, tell us about your channel and what you like doing and what brings you to YouTube.
Well, I get on YouTube because my kids think that if you're on YouTube, you're immediately famous. So they just kept harassing me constantly because I'm always watching YouTube. So the first couple of videos were just because they were like, oh, people are watching you, you're now famous. So I would say mostly it was that. But speaking on the Bueller box, I remember I don't live near an LCS. And just to go kind of sidetrack, and I remember I talked to Bueller a lot about it, how he got all these books and stuff. And I remember him telling me one time that he would think about putting a box together. And so when he did that Bueller box, I got a bunch, and that was the only way I was getting some books was from the Bueller box. And I grew up in Las Vegas, so just to finish that whole mystery meld thing, I will say, yes, the house always wins. And you have to assume that whatever you're going to buy a mystery box, that's the money you're willing to lose, like a lottery ticket kind of thing. So if you can spend $100 and don't mind losing the $100, then hey, mystery boxes are pretty cool. But I have opened a few mystery boxes on my channel. I don't really, it sounds funny calling it a channel because, like I said, it's just mostly for the kids. But just I want to have a good time making videos, having fun. I hadn't started, this is one thing that did kind of happen with the mystery box from him, is that I did start reading Doctor Strange, which I really liked.
One of my favorites.
Nice.
And I also got my first ever signature, which I didn't realize, but that was
Bishop.
from the same thing in the Bishop one.
Claremont on the first Bishop?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, Chris Claremont, the first Bishop.
Very nice.
And so I got that from Comic-Con. Yeah, so I did want to. I remember mentioning that before. I did want to break down the Doctor Strange. I just really like it. I think Doctor Strange is pretty awesome. He is a difficult read at times, and so I have had to read him a couple of times. Yeah, so I just want to kind of do more stuff like that. Read some books, kind of break them down.
This
and
is ridiculous hard to read.
And then here lately, I've been doing, I am part of a comic group, the Symbiotes, and I have been only because the guy who normally does it has had to work, so I have live streamed with them a few times, and just trying to have a good time and like being on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a great show, the Symbiote Chat. It's on Mondays about 8 p.m. Eastern time, I think.
Yeah,
and, definitely check that out. I mean, I was on there. I was laughing up a storm. These guys had me rolling. They're straightforward. It's a great channel. Enjoy all the content that they were talking about everything from. It started off. We were talking about Doctor Strange, how Mr. Garrel started reading Doctor Strange, and it was a tough read. To everything. They went into movies about the Endgame coming up and about other channels. It was great, and I just think it's a good group that really provides positivity to the community, and they're laid back and cool and relaxed. It was never off the rails. It was good. It was right there.
It can get off the rails at times. We had to have issues as one of our main group members, so he can. He can be for some enjoyment.
Gotta love the panda, man.
Basically, it started as like a hangout, and that we were just hanging out, and then one day someone was like, "Oh, we should just send it live," and so it kind of did. So it legitimately is just us sitting there chit chatting, and then you're kind of peeking through the window to see what we're doing.
Very cool. So my standard questions I always ask the guests on one of these is, what do you? I know you said you made the channel for your kids. Is there a particular content that you like in the community that you wish there was more of, or do you want to participate in more of?
Well, I mean, you're here to be kind of awkward, but I did like some of your history stuff in the comics because I am a history major, and then White Whales. I really do like some of those old breakdowns because there's a ton of opening stuff and spec stuff and all that kind of stuff. So I do like that the dedicated videos, editing, and breaking that stuff. I really, really like a lot of those videos.
Very cool. Very cool. And how do you want to see your channel? Do you want to see your channel grow? Because I asked that to anybody. Do you want to become the 200, 300, 400, 500 subscriber, whatever, 1,000 subscriber, or do you want to keep it your own thing going on? I mean,
it's funny. I watched the what was it? Legend was on your guys' show last time, right? And he was kind of saying just kind of keep it entertaining the people who are currently watching your thing. And I think that would just be it. I mean, there's the fact that anybody, I know a lot of people say this, but it's like legitimately the fact that anybody would watch that garbage I put on YouTube and be enjoyed is just amazing. So as long as people are still thinking it's funny and they like it, and my kids think I'm some kind of superstar or celebrity, and hey, I'll have a good time as long as I'm having fun.
One of my favorite videos on YouTube ever was you and Jeffrey when Jeffrey opened up that book that he got. What was it, a Hulk 102? And the reaction you had was, "Oh, that's a good grade," and then you found out what the book was, and went dead silent. And the best line you had was, "Man, you guys broke Jeffrey."
Well, yeah, because he texted me and goes, "I have something coming in. I don't know what it is, but it's a heavy box. I don't know what to slab, but there's no note on it. Will you come on here? Because I'm afraid I'm going to break down or cry." And I'm like, "Sure, man. I'll keep talking while if you start going." And no, I was so stunned. I was totally useless. I was just like,
Great video. But also check out Mr. Garrell's recent video. My favorite video of this past week was his look back at mystery boxes. I think it was last Friday or Saturday or something. I saw it, or maybe a little later, but I immediately reached out to him and said, "I got to get you on to talk about it. I think it's a great topic." And it's imperative because there's a lot of people talking about it. So right now it's usually the closeout session. So everybody go down the line, starting at Spectre. Tell us what you got coming up. What do you got on your channel? What do you want us to do?
Well, here in the near future, specifically probably tomorrow evening, I'll be putting together a video which will showcase on Friday. As you guys know, I'm doing the Road to 500, which we've already surpassed, which is just
Nice.
dude.
Awesome.
We broke through the wall, and we're just going straight ahead. The community just has been absolutely amazing. It's hard for me to actually keep up with all the comments and everything that's been going on with it. So I'm going to be making a very concerted effort to catch up on the majority of that this weekend, since I'm completely off work and I don't have guard or anything. So Friday there will be a video for that. I'm going to be going through everybody so far that's put in for the actual contest. And I'll have an update, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be throwing in some extra books because, it's just me showing my appreciation for the community, subscribers. Aside from that, Saturday evening, I will be teaming up with Toro Cuboro and Big Lion Cat for an auction over at his channel. So I'll be doing that on Saturday, and then I got to work on some content for next week too. So lots of stuff going on. And of course, next week, I'm looking forward to coming back here with this fine panel of gentlemen to do this all again, as I love to every single week.
Very cool. Thanks, Iz.
I love you.
Jason?
The only thing I got planned really is working on a Heroes in Crisis discussion with John's Comments with Kids and White Whale and Ju Manchu, and also Thorough Cubero and I Got Issues.
Great.
So we're trying to plan that out. There's only one issue left now, since the newest one came out today. So one more issue to go. So everyone's gonna write their arguments down, and we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Schedule pending. I think John has a lot of stuff scheduled as well, but it seems like mostly everyone's on board. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, as for videos on my channel, I'm not quite sure. I'm not in a hurry to make anything. I'm just more into it to just read stuff and put out stuff when I can. We'll see what happens.
Great stuff. Carson, thanks for sticking around. Tell me all about what you got going on.
No problem. First, can I get into this chat? Because we got a nice chat. I think I give them one tonight. We got DK cosplay. I think we're talking about a false Big Lion Cat sighting, but nonetheless, that was for Manny NYC, part of the New York Warriors. They had another phenomenal auction last night. Every Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on the New York Warriors channel. They always have good stuff. We got Mr. Gretzky 9966, and he's been telling me about his phenomenal Action Comics run he's been trying to collect. He's 2 issues away from having 374 through 904. That's a heck of an accomplishment.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's getting there, man. He's getting those tough ones. So we got RJ Taylor in the chat. He was bending up a storm on the auction last Saturday. So happy to see RJ Taylor back in the chat once again. Here's one of my. We were doing community shout outs earlier. Here's one of my new favorites. We got Biggie Shack in the chat. Man, he hit clanging and banging. He's got those awesome rubies on that awesome belt. I love that guy's channel. If you guys like wrestling combined with your comic books and your passion combined into those, you owe it to yourself to check out Biggie Shack.
He's cut up. He's hilarious.
He's 90 miles from comics. We got Chad in the chat. How's it going, man? We had, I believe, the Slab Dragon, TJ Watson, saw him pop in the chat earlier. He says Mr. Garrett was a star, and he's absolutely right. So just a great chat tonight. I guess what's going on my channel, I just released today, I finally got around to editing my Signature Series Part 10.
It's Sunday.
Yeah, close enough. I was like a week and a half late. But today, I went ahead and just recorded another one. So I got it. It's in the can, so to speak. I just got to edit it now. So expect Part 11 anytime. Other than that, we got the Comic Core this Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. You never know what's going to happen on the Comic Core. I seriously don't know. And then lastly, next Tuesday, 7 p.m., Tuesday night live stream's coming back. So
Nice.
I do it monthly now. So if you guys like my previous Tuesday night live streams, check me out next Tuesday. I'll be live once again on my channel. Other than that, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you for being with us.
Mr. Garrow?
Wow, I got to follow him. Okay. Well, like I said, we do the Monday night thing. It's on Necro Gods Comics. If you want to watch us make fun of each other, old-fashioned guys humor. I mean, it's it can be pretty fun. And then I also do a thing with Barbarian Kung Fu. He's an awesome guy.
Yes, he is.
We do this thing where we kind of see what we've got out there, eBay or other comic books. So mainly, he doesn't have a computer, so I joke with him, but it's mostly true that I just facilitate his show because he doesn't have a computer, and I just show like one book and then he shows 10. But he's really awesome. You guys can check that out. We don't have to doing we're not doing a set every week. We're kind of just doing it whenever we get enough books to show. But I'm enjoying that, and also just want to say, hey guys, just remember, like, YouTube is fun. Comic books are fun. Don't have to be so serious. Have a good time with it. It's a fun thing. I mean, we're reading about people in spandex and magic. Have a good time.
I like
Thanks
spandex.
for agree with you.
Well said.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. It was awesome. It's the first time I've ever been on a show, so it was pretty awesome.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys very much for coming. Just briefly, I have a contest going on again still. It's you get 5 books and you get a piece of art of your choosing. You get a piece of art drawn of a character of your choice. So check that out. Don't forget to check out Metarogs tomorrow and everything else. Also, people are asking about a few shows coming up on the Comic Core. To Slab or Not to Slab's debut will be a week from Tuesday, because this Tuesday coming up is Golden Guys, episode 2. Thank you for being a friend. That'll be on Tuesday. And then the following week is a double down on Tuesday for me. It's both. The following week after that is both To Slab or Not to Slab and Strange Art Things is moving to the Comic Core. We're going to put it on there. We'll host TJ Dragon and myself. And we have a special guest that time at Comic Books NYC. And we're going over original art. You don't want to miss that, because we're going to talk about 3 guys that collect a lot of original art. And we might have a guest appearance in there.
Oh, dude, I'm stoked for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm going to show some stuff I've acquired that I never really show.
Oh, man.
It'll be fun. And, yep, tune into Comic Core on Friday night and tomorrow night. I think there's something going on tomorrow night on the Comic Core. I think Kat and Chad are doing something. You don't want to miss that, because you never know what's going to go on with Chad and Kat. So, but thank you all for coming here, and thank you all for joining us here on the Unlimited Show. We'll be here again next week. And shout out to everybody again. Don't forget to check out Mr. Garrell's channel and the Necro God Show on Monday night. Thank you guys very much. Have a good one.
Peace.